What's up guys, it's Bye here with another Rise of Kingdoms videos. Is it worth it to swarm forts flags in Season of Conquest KvK? In today's video, I will show you guys how painful it is to swarm in Season of Conquest. I will also tell you what I believe is the best way to swarm down a structure. Uh, Remember, it is a lot worse to swarm in Season of Conquest because four reasons. Number one is the troop capacity for structure are greatly increased. Flag from 1.5 million capacity to 2 million in Season of Conquest. That is a 33% increase in troop capacity. Alliance Fortress going from 2 million to 3 million. That is a 50% increase in troop capacity. The troop capacity increase also mean more damage to the swarming marches. Number two, past glory damage bonus increase 40%. Troop capacity from reason number one also greatly increased from the past glory damage increase, right? So a 40% damage increase, also working on that like 50% or like 33% troop capacity in for the Alliance Fortress and the flag as well. Uh, Number three is the garrison captain commanders, right? Most of the time, the structure are garrisoned with one of the best players in the kingdom, like with the best garrison commander and best technology and equipments. Like not many players can have all of their 6 or 7 marches with legendary equipments. So now you are using a whole bunch of marches swimming down on like a Ducal commanders player with like all of the best equipment in one marches right there. So that is where you take a lot of bad trade-off there. So those are the 3 reasons why it is so much more harder to swarm in Season of Conquest. But it is not impossible. How do I think the swarming should be done? Number one, like I definitely think swarming flag is a lot easier to swarm than the Alliance Fortress because of the lower troop capacity. So if you plan to swarm, try to swarm flag and avoid on swarming Alliance Fortress. Two, you should always swarm when the troop inside the structure are below at least 70% troop capacity. And how can you check? You can either keep on like spamming scouting on the structure to see how much troops they have left. Or you can pay attention to the normal attack damage on the rally. This requires experienced player, right? I can tell when the flag is low just by looking at the rally damage, and I can swarm at the right time. Number three, you gotta bring a lot of commanders with debuff, like Airtoflet, Tomrid, Sangyu, and so on, like some other commanders that can provide a great debuff for everybody that's going to swarm. Debuff is the key. Four, never ever let your troop die. Right? You gotta stop swarming when your marches are below 40%. Anything below 40% HP is not going to be effective. Number five, never swarm a fort at full reinforcement in Season of Conquest KvK. You gotta wait. If it's always fully reinforced, you gotta wait for your chance. That is all I have to say. Yes, some kingdom will always keep their fort full, but there will be a moment when the fort is lag behind in reinforcement. You got to wait for that moment. That is how you should be able to burn down the fort. Um, I personally didn't swarm any flags this KvK because a lot of my troop died at the pass. By the time we got to Kingsland, I didn't have enough troop left to swarm. Even though I only had free-to-play research, I was hoped to swarm a flag in this KvK, but unfortunately it didn't happen. Hopefully, I will be able to do it in the next KvK. So now, let's look at some of the swarming being done by 1860 and some reports. Okay, so how bad is it to swarm a fully reinforced Alliance Fortress in Season of Conquest KvK, huh? Let's go and take a look here at the report. So we got a whole bunch of people here from BN1 swarming the fort. So we have here, we got the rally, which is 7.4 million to 9.6 million here. We even trade off here. We got some AoE skill damage here. This is a double rally here. But here we got Darker Sand swarming down the fort. 2.8 million tube here inside the fort at the moment he swarmed it down. With like a 268,000 tube capacity here. Very, very high research player here, a Darker Sand. I think he might not have a max research, I don't know. But he definitely have very, very high research. The trade-off was not too bad, right? It's like a 1 for 2 trade-off here. Saladin and William swarming. 140,000 death tube for 78,000 death tubes there. Not too bad, right? 6,000 for 1.4 millions. Second one here, we got a tier the from Darker Sand here, right? 94,000 tube capacity here, like almost max research player here. 167,000 death power loss for A7 here, so it's like a 1 for 4 trade-off here, right? So very, very good trade-off for the fort here. Because it is fully reinforced here, you can see, right, the troop inside the fort is 2.7 million, so very, very high amount of troop inside the forts. At the moment, he swarms the fort down here. We got Randu and Alex swimming down the fort here as well. It's kind of like a 1 for 2 trade-off here, which is not too bad, right? 135,000 death troop for him and 79,000 death troop for the enemy inside the fort. We got another player here. They are actually not like a max research player. But trying to swarm the fort here, right? 2.6 million troop inside the fort. Kind of like a 1 for 2.5, right? 1 for 2.5 trade-off here. One Alex, not too bad there, right? Definitely, you will definitely take some negative trade-off there from swarming like a fully reinforced fort. This one is the fort definitely doing a lot better here. 200,000 power loss for the fort. 1.2 million power loss for the player here. A lot of power losses there, right? It's like 1 for 4 trade-off here, so very, very good trade-off for the fort there. This one we got a Ramsey and YSG swarming the fort as well, but this time there is less troop inside the fort right now, right? At the moment the march is swarming down the fort here. There only 2.2 million troop inside the fort, so here it's taking 1 to 2, kind of 1 to 2 trade-off here. Still in favor of the fort defense here. We got Darker Sand here with Trajan and Airtel Flat swarming. Oh, so Darker Sand here have 22,000 troops, so he definitely have max research there. So very, very good player, strong players there. Right, 1.3 million for 4,000 here. 1 to 2 trade-off there. For the fort. OAJ here again swarming down the fort here. Still, right, positive trade-off for the fort defense here. Rich and Sanzu swarming down the fort here. Only 2.2 million troops. 1 for 4 trade-off here. I think the fort will do a lot better if it get fully reinforced. This one Darker Sand is Rich and YSG swarming down the fort here. 1 for 3, kind of 1 for 3 here as well for the fort here. We got Dark Cookies, one of the very, very strong big spender here in DN1. Definitely max research here for him. Glenn and Richard here. Swimming down the fort when it is around 2 million troop only. Definitely positive trade-off for this fort here again. As long as the fort getting reinforced, fully reinforced, it definitely getting very, very good trade-off. We got another marches here. Constantine and Airtel Flat here swimming down. A lot of death troop for Dark Cookie here. Very, very good trade-off here for the fort here. Another one here, a tier Takeda, 1.2 million for 295,000. Here, I think the fort definitely getting more reinforced after. Maybe the moment it hit the march, it hit the fort, it was at about 2.2 million, but I think it get more reinforcement, and I think that is why the march is getting a lot more bad trade-off here. 1.4 million here with Ramsey and YSG swarming down the fort here. 28,000, so like 1 for 2.5 there for the fort. So very, very positive trade-off for the fort there if the fort getting reinforced. A couple more thing over here. This is just AoE skill damage. Dark Oreo also try to swarm the fort as well. A very, very good trade-off in favor of the fort here. Very good trade-off here for the fort, as you can see, right? Like very bad trade-off here for some of the player. This one is like 1 for 10. This one is definitely like a 1 for 10 trade-off here. So this one, the enemy is able to defend the fort. As you can see from the reinforcement here at the top. The fort is always like they always somewhere above 2 million most of the time, right? It went down to like 1.5 million at some point, but a lot of the time it was above 2 million, and at the end it went back up to like 3 million there. So the fort is like always get very good reinforcement there, and they were able to defend it. And we took a lot of bad trade off there from swarming. That is one. That is definitely one. So this is also a second. We got another second swarm as well. So this one, the fort didn't get enough rally, didn't get fast enough reinforcement here. As you can see, the number of reinforcement go down. The troop go from 3 million to 0 here. So we were able to destroy the forts. But so let's go and take a look at the swarming here. The rally 4.7 mil to 6.2 million here. Here come a double rally 1.1 to 2.8 million there. Here comes the swarm, very early swarm here, I think, right? Start swarming at 2.6 million, 1.5 million to 275,000 here. So definitely a very positive trade-off there for the fort defense. Another 1 to 4, 1 to 4, 1 to 5, 1 to 5 trade-off here for the fort. 1 to 5, 1 to 6 trade-off here for the fort as well. Dark brownie get smoke here, right? Completely got smoke here from swarming the fort. Got dark brown is swarming the fort here. 567 to 1.4 mil, about 1 to 2.5 trade off there. Negative trade off here. Slightly negative here, right? It's like 1 to 1.5, I would say. And here we start seeing like a even trade off here, right? So I think the moment the fort went down to below 1.5 millions, I think that is when you can start seeing some like pretty decent trade off there from swarming. And here we got this one is negative as well, like 143. Dark cookie swarming down here again. Even at like 1.4 million, Sangju and Gupta still getting very negative trade off there. Seem like Saturn and William doing pretty well with swarming. Not like Yu and Chan Gupta. Maybe they are in the position where they hit AoE, they got AoE skill damage. Maybe that could be one of the reason. This one is doing better here, right? Even trade off here, right? We got Carol and Alex here, swarming. So this one is even trade off here because the fort didn't get enough reinforcement. This one we got about kind of like I would say even pretty decent trade up there for dark cookies. Again, right, the fort was going down, right? It stopped getting reinforcement there. Here come another swarm. Ramsey, YSC here. Okay trade off here, right? But again, right, the fort is going down. If you can manage to burn the fort, if you know that the fort is not getting good reinforcement, a good swarm can definitely help with the rally, I would say. So yeah, just go to the report for some of the couple swarm on some of the Alliance Fortress in Season of Conquest. Definitely like some you could definitely get some very bad trade-off if you start swarming early. So like a good way for in my opinion, right? If I am one of the big spender, right? Is it only recommend for a big spender for swarming the fort down? I would definitely wait, right? If you can manage to get like a double rallies going, and you gotta wait, you gotta scout the fort, right? You gotta swarm the fort at the right time. Swarming the fort when it is fully reinforced at like 2.5 million or like above 2 million, definitely not a good idea. But I think the moment you notice that the fort is kind of like missing some reinforcement there, if you can help with the swarming, you can definitely speed up the process of burning the fort. You can prevent the enemy from reinforcing it, right? If you can swarm the fort fast enough. What I'm seeing a lot of people, they don't scout the fort. They don't know how much troop inside the fort and they just swarm it. That is probably not the best choice because you're getting very bad trade-off from swarming. The good way to swarm is you gotta wait for the right moment. You gotta wait for that moment there when you're like, okay, the fort is not getting good reinforcement right now. Maybe some of the reinforcement marches is a little bit too far to get to the fort. That is when you have to take that opportunity. You gotta swarm it down. And you can see right here, right? We got a bad swarm in one of the report, and we got a pretty good swarm on the second report here, and we were able to burn the fort down, right? So that is maybe something you might consider. Um, anyway, guys, just want to show you guys some of the swarm report here we have in 1860. Thanks for watching the video, guys.